Hello, everybody. If the sound is okay, please write okay. Perfect. Thank you. Just a few seconds and we will start, inshallah. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ala Sabit from RES Global for Maintenance and Reliability and Asset Management Training and Consultation, and I will be your host today. Today's guest speaker is Engineer Faruq Khalifa, and he will present how to build the reliability culture. Faruq Khalifa currently working at Jazan Asset Performance Management Unit as a senior reliability engineer. He has 21 years of experience related to reliability engineering and operation excellence. He is the founder and the champion of Saudi Aramco Reliability Community of Practice Reliability Club. He holds maintenance management professional certification from P.Eng, and he is a certified maintenance and reliability professional CMRP, and he is a certified reliability leader CRL. We will have from 5 to 10 minute Q&A at the end of the presentation. So please, if you have any questions at any time, don't hesitate to mention on the chat box. Thank you. And for now, please, let me to welcome Engineer Faruq. Please, Engineer Faruq.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I see some people from all around the world joining us today. Really, I'm happy to join you today and share with you a story about reliability culture movement. Thanks from the beginning to RIS and Ala and their offer to provide these webinars for the reliability practitioner around the world. So today we're going to talk about how we're going to build reliability culture and how to start reliability culture movement. And an example I will share with you today is a story about reliability community practice, or what we call reliability club. Our agenda today will be talking first about reliability principle. This is the first part. Second, we're going to talk about why reliability culture, the reason why we talk about reliability culture. Also, we're going to talk about reliability culture journey, which is it's a journey, it's not like a destination. Also, we're going to talk about reliability club and new approach, the why part, what we do and how we do it. So it's not just the theory about reliability culture. We're going to tell you the mechanism and the why part and the how and the what. Also, we conclude with a story on a new challenge on how you build a reliability culture from start for a new plant. As Ala mentioned, my name is Faruq Khalifa. I currently work on Aramco for the last 8 years. Prior to this, I worked for Shell Canada and Cenovus Energy. I work on other companies as a consultant. My job right now as an asset performance engineer I work for the Jizan refinery. It's under commissioning. Also, I work for a Yambo refinery and consultant service department. Also, I'm the founder, as been mentioned, of this reliability club or reliability community practice. I have 22 or 21 years experience. I'm a professional engineer, licensed from Alberta, Canada. Also, I'm holding something called MMB, Maintenance Management Professional from BMAC, Plant Engineering Maintenance Association of Canada, and also CMRP, and certified reliability leader, and work on certification from decision making and risk management from Stanford University. This is who I am. Let us start with one first principle on reliability function. What's the reliability function? It's very, very simple. It's about preventing failure. This is what all about. So reliability function, it's about how you prevent failure, how you don't have the failure happen to start with. Now, some other people, which is the people who work in maintenance, and they carry on the maintenance function, they are about fixing the failure. And there are two different people in this manner. So people who are fixing the failure is not the same people who are preventing failure. There are two different functions. And a lot of time we see people mixing reliability with maintenance because reliability always working on fixing failure or preventing failure, which is usually people see maintenance team fixing these failures. So that's why the correlation between reliability and maintenance is so strong. This is a first principle. Second principle, that the one thing and what's matter at the end of the day is the process. So I can see from the list I got from Ala, I have an audience coming from different industry. At the end of the day, some of you work in the oil and gas, energy, cementing, or manufacturing. At the end of the day, you guys are all accountable to provide a product. The end product, it could be in our business, like in oil and gas, maybe crude, and this crude production may be represented with a straight line. This is the value or how much you should produce, and this is a time. I can see that where we have a production line represented by a straight line, and this is what we hope for. However, reality shows that a lot of time we see the production go down completely for some time, like here, or go a little bit here or a little bit. So every drop here, it means something being lost. So for our job, as I told you, as a reliability, we are trying to prevent failure. So we try to prevent all these debts, because all these failures meant money being lost. So our job is to protect the king, and the king here is the process. Is always we try to make this production line stay straight, and hopefully we can make it go up. We don't like to see this. So some of us will work on preventing the failure to start with. Some of us will work on fixing the failure. So if you are in the maintenance domain, you are after making this downtime as less as possible. If this can be like 5 days downtime, can we make it 2 days? How quickly we can fix the equipment or the production line, so we can bring the equipment back to service and bring the process alive again. This is the people who are going to fix the failure. So planning, scheduling, having material, having competent people. This is will make this window get closer and shorter. But from a reliability perspective, we try to prevent the failure to start with. This is our function. So one of the principles we say, reliability, process is the king. We all here to protect the king, which is the production. Why? As you can know that at the end of the day, all these plants being built to make money. So any operating company or manufacturer company, they are here to produce, and they have to make money. So none of these plants build like a charity. It's not a charity business. It's about making a product and sell the product so you make money so you can survive. Also, this is the one goal you are after. Also, you need to continue have a condition you should maintain to make money out of this production. You have to be working in a safe manner so you don't kill people or hurt people. Also, you need to protect the environment, so you don't want to harm the environment by venting some toxic material. But the bottom line, and this is why we are in any plant working, we are here to protect the king, which is the process, because this process makes the money. And the third condition, which is how we can make money by minimizing our expenses. So can we produce that, say, this kind of refinery, can we produce 250,000 barrels per day at less cost? Every time the challenge is the cost, because the less cost we can make more profit. Sorry. So this is like the two main things I would like to share with you about reliability. One, reliability is about preventing failure. Also, the second principle is the process is the king, because what matters at the end of the day, this is the king, okay? Also, when we talk about reliability culture, reliability function is about preventing failure. What's reliability culture? Reliability culture is the culture of why. It's all about understanding the why part. It's about telling people why they have to do what they have to do. And this is the bottom line. So we need to convince our workforce that reliability is everybody's business. This is the bottom line. The reliability culture will be seen and be valued and will be impact the plant or the company if we have our workforce believe, and the word is believe is very important, believe that reliability is everybody's business, as we do today with safety. Now our business and all manufacturing business, we have very well-known slogan is the safety is everybody's business. When you say who's the safety business, they will say everybody. Everybody mean everybody. Could be technician, engineer, management, operators, HR. So everybody has a role to play when it comes to safety. And we would like to convince and make our workforce believe in the same way that reliability is everybody's business. This is our goal. How are we gonna do it? I will share with you the story. Also from the ISO 55000, if you are familiar with ISO 55000, there is 3 enablers for sustaining and establishing reliability improvement. You need 3 things. You need to have reliability culture, you need to have a leadership support, and you have a cross-disciplinary collaboration team. So you need people who can work together, who understand the why part with a leadership support. You have these 3 elements, you could have reliability improvement. A lot of time, we think reliability could improve by buying technology. Technology is not an answer. You could have the best technology in the world, you could have the best procedure, but you don't have the culture, you will lose. And a lot of you may work in a plant where we buy technology. After a while, we ask for where's this technology, and you find it is being stored in a closed cabinet, collecting dust. Why? Because people couldn't understand the why part. So that's why when we try to start with the reliability improvement, we need to establish the reliability culture, because technology, procedures, it's needed, but without culture, you cannot. So if you ask why are we talking about reliability culture, as I told you, it's one of the enabler. Also, if you come and see the survey done by Reliability One in 2014, they ask question, what is the biggest single obstacle for improving asset performance on the list below? So it's a cost issue, it's a priority issue, could be executive support, capability, or organization culture. You can see the biggest impact seen by this survey that organization culture play a big role when it comes to improving asset performance. Second statistics I have here, if you are seeing this before, I'm not sure, but what it's tell you here, this is a line represent number of accidents, and here it's an accident per 1,000 workers, and this is the timeline starts from 1986 to about 2013. This is the statistics coming from Australia, and can you see that the number of injury or incident was high in sometime in 1987 and start going down. The biggest improvement happened between sometime 1988 to around 1995 when they introduced a safety management system. I'll tell you, usually safety and reliability go hand in hand, and there is a connection, a relation between safety and reliability. And always we try to learn from safety. So you can see the improvement happen when they introduced safety management system. The second wave of improvement happened around 1989 to somewhere 2004. You can see the improvement happens somewhere when they start introducing safety culture. So just applying safety management system, it gets you to somewhere at this level. Now the second wave of improvement, it required safety culture. And that's where we try to lean that you can have a reliability improvement by having a reliability culture. Now, let me tell you one journey, how we create a reliability culture change. This is just a version of a story. And one success story I will share with you. And one principle which I told you beginning is the process is the king. And to apply this concept of process is the king, that means the equipment is just a soldier. And if you play a chess, you always know that the king is the most important part on the chess game. If you lose the chess, the game is over. So sometime in our business of playing chess and strategy, we may choose to kill one of our soldiers to protect the king, because what matters at the end of the day is to protect the king. And the same thing we are doing here on the process side. We say the process is the king. And applying this concept in reality, there is something called switchover plan. When you have a rotating equipment, as an example, you have three equipment, three bumps, two running, one standby. So two running, one standby. Just make a spotlight here. So you have three bumps, A, B, C. The switchover plan is to put a plan to tell operation how they're gonna switch between the main bumps running and the standby bump in a certain way, in a certain frequency for a period of time. This practice, it's a reliability practice. By mean that I have to maintain a lead bump for certain bumps like A and B running for almost 9 weeks. Then at one point, I'm gonna bring bump C back to service as a standby, and I bring one of these lead bumps back down. And I alternate between main bumps and the standby bump in a certain way for a period of time. This practice of on-off kind of plan, it's a pure switch over plan, which is a pure reliability practice, because we believe the process is the king. If you are asking this practice to a rotating equipment engineer, they may not like it. If you are talking to a maintenance engineer, they may not like it, because bringing equipment on and off, you're killing this equipment faster. A good example, if equipment like a pump has a mechanical seal, every time you bring this equipment in service while it was down. Every startup of this equipment will lead to a mechanical seal run a little bit dry for millisecond, which will shorten the life cycle of mechanical seal. So mechanical seal live for 5 years if you keep this equipment running all the time. But if you're making this on-off kind of switch over plan, you may get 4 years. So you lose maybe 1 year or 2 months, whatever. Also, if you ask operation, we have the same argument, and I will tell you the operation argument, how they will tell you why they don't like switchover. So this is a plan for one of these plants, and now this plan need to be applied to maintain the reliability, because we need to make sure the standby equipment is alive and ready to kick in every time we need it in case of emergency. And the only time I'm sure that this will be running when I need it is that I have to practice this switchover from time to time to build the confidence. Now, this is a plan we developed for a long time, but always there is a complaint, there is a compliance issue. The operation, they don't follow the plan. They always have an issue with the plan. So now we try to implement this switchover plan, and we try to convince this operation to follow it. So the first thing, as I told you, reliability culture is the reliability of why. So we need to start with the why part. Why you guys as an operation, you need to do the switchover. However, to understand operation, people who operate this equipment, they will always have a concern. And one of these concerns always will come. I have a steady state plant, and everything running normal. Now, if I do a switchover, I may trip the equipment, I may trip the whole plant. Should I still want to do it as a reliability engineer? Yes, I would like to insist to do it. And I always are going to tell you why part. So when we start the switchover schedule plan, we create this number of workshop. We cover all of these operation people, all the shifts, about 250 operators, and we told them about the why part. We spent about 2 hours where we explain to them the why we should do a switchover, and we try to understand and convince them it's required. And just to make a long story short here, the reason why we do a switchover from a reliability perspective, when we get this argument from operation, my argument pack always say, if we have a redundancy, and this redundancy meant to protect the king, how I am confident that the redundant equipment will be available to me. We know that the equipment, when it's down, when it's off, it develops what we call hidden failure, may not be ready when you need it. This is what we call maybe an equipment reliability issue. This is one part. Maybe operation, they may not really understand or get convinced about the reason, but we try to convince them with the reason they can understand, which is related to the operation purpose. Why are we doing a switchover? A switchover is a way to ensure that the operators, he will be able to do the switchover in case of emergency. Because having an operator never practice switchover for a long time, for a year and a half, and an emergency came that required to do a switchover for real. That means a standby equipment needed, and one of these lead equipment gets sick and we should shut it down. How we are competent and confident that this operator will be ready to do the job in case of emergency. From probability point of view, from a human reliability perspective, if you don't practice something for a long time, your chance to do it right under emergency condition may go to zero. So as good as this standby equipment is not exist, as there is no standby equipment at all. So this is the reason we have to do a switchover from operation perspective. So we create this workshop, we explain it to the operation team, and again, we try to convince them. And we went from a journey. This journey took about 3 years. What you see here, it didn't came overnight, okay? So we went from a point where we tell people, hey, please do the switchover. They will tell us, you know, we are busy, we have other things to do, we are not ready for you. and we don't have time, to the point where they start asking how I am doing. So how's my team doing based on the switchover plan for the last month? Because we are issuing a report in a monthly basis to manage or measure the KPI of the switchover, to the last stage where they are after us to ask us where our plan, because one of the last years, one of these years, we issued a plan by end of December. They practiced it from beginning of January. We were a little bit late, so we didn't issue the schedule for the year. So operation, they start asking us, where's my schedule? Where's my plan? So we went from a point where technically they didn't really have any buy-in from their perspective on why they should do a switchover, and they just tell you we don't have time, to the point where they really see the value and the benefit. And I'm going to show you some statistics here, how switchover improve reliability. So to make things on reliability perspective by numbers, we see an improvement, and they saw the improvement by themselves. So in this unit, one of the improvements you can see by practicing switchover is the mechanical seal failure rate is reduced. And in this unit, it was a mechanical seal failure rate was about 17 mechanical seal per year. And once we apply the switchover plan somewhere here, we start drop about 50% from 17 to 9 to 5, a little bit went to up, and we forecast by 2020 we get about 3 failure per year for this unit. So we went from 17 to 3. So practicing switchover is not a nice to have, it's a must to have, and it has a value. We don't do it for fun. And this is bring us to the journey of building reliability culture as a whole company, and how we established this reliability club in Saudi Aramco. And this is how we connect. We connect a number of reliability champions within our different Aramco facilities, and we start a journey of establishing reliability club, where we promote ourselves as a reliability practitioner who believes that reliability is everybody's business. So I would like to emphasize on the reliability practitioner word. Reliability is everybody's business, it's not for engineers only. Everybody has a role to play. And we promote this reliability everybody business, and we create some mechanism I'll show you. Why reliability club? There was a survey done at one time on your opinion, how well the company doing is providing reliability education to support your professional development. These statistics show about 70 to about 80% of audience, they say we're not doing very well, so we need to do more on understanding and educating our workforce on reliability. Also, this reliability club fit within a bigger picture. Saudi Aramco has a values. It has an excellence, safety, and integrity, and citizenship and accountability. This is Aramco value. Saudi Aramco has a vision, 2020 vision, to be a leading integrated energy company, leading integrated energy and chemical company. Aramco very well known as the biggest oil company in the world, but Aramco going beyond this to be a fully integrated petrochemical company. So we are after the chemical. This is created around 7 years ago, where there is a program initiated to meet this new vision, which is to be a fully leading integrated energy chemical company, where the accelerated transformation plan is being developed. It has two components, strategy and culture. The strategy part focus on operation excellence. And one component is operation excellence, and one of these pillar of operation excellence is reliability, as you can see. Also, we create the culture side. which is the behavior program, where we try to promote 4 types of behavior. We try to make people conversation, build the collaboration around different teams, empower people to take decision, and make sure we have decision-making behaviors. So all these together, a strategy and culture, will lead to this vision of Aramco 2020 vision. As I told you, just working on a strategy side may not necessarily lead to much an improvement. You need to emphasize also on the culture side, and this is why we have these 4 critical behavior program. And all this lead to this reliability club, where we have the why, we have the what, and we have the how. We try to live our values, citizenship, excellence, and collaborations. And that's how this reliability club fit on the overall picture. Starting this reliability club, we found there could be a different barriers for the success of this reliability club. We see maybe there is inconsistency of understanding what is reliability, have it as a formal organization, or you may have what you call a good news culture, or you have a command control. All these we approach it differently by establishing core team, founding principle, establishing informal way of doing community practice as a club, try to promote failure is good, and work away from command and control to be a sponsorship and support. I'll go through one of the or each of these to explain to you what's our new approach. It was maybe one of the issue of having a strong reliability community of practice or reliability club, and to have inconsistency of people come and go. So we established what we call a core team, which is they are self-motivated. We have a diversity. We have people from different backgrounds in terms of technical background, from operation, engineering, maintenance. We have people with 25 plus years experience. We have people with 2 to 4 years experience, operators. We have engineer, we have technician, we have all type of engineering backgrounds. So this self-motivated team, it create this diversity, and which ensure the sustainability of this reliability club. Second thing, or second challenge, is different understanding and how we establish founding principles, because reliability world is it means different things for different people. Sometimes you say reliability and everybody has different understanding what's reliability, and you cannot work as a team if we have a team has different understanding. So to avoid this different understanding, we establish something we call a founding principle. And one of the things, main pillars of this principle is that reliability is a holistic approach. You cannot improve reliability by just working in one element. You need to work in people, process, and equipment, with assumption that you have a right foundation, which is a design. So all these 4 things have to work together and have to be right to ensure that we have reliability. So when we talk about people, we talk about human reliability. As a human, we have ability to do mistakes, and in this case, where people do mistakes, we can see the root cause of people doing mistakes because of having a competency issue. They really don't know what they have to do, or also they have a procedure issue. They may don't have a procedure, or they don't follow procedure. So to reduce people's ability to commit error, we should improve competency, we improve procedures, and this is usually represent about 70% of your, about 40% of your failures in any equipment. This is related to people. A second element that impacts reliability is the process, the way we operate the equipment. This is another element that's impacting the equipment failure. However, you can see from this arrow that almost 70% of the equipment failure has nothing to do with equipment. That's mean when you see failure in equipment, you have to know about 70% chance that this failure has nothing to do with equipment. It's most likely happened by somebody done something wrong here because of competency procedure or the way we operate it as a process. The only time we blame the equipment for the failure is that when the equipment failed because of what we call age-related failure in the end of the life cycle. If the equipment should live 5 years and after 5 years it failed, die, yeah, this is equipment issue. If you are not happy with 5 years, go buy an equipment could live for 20 years, pay more money or whatever. But all this is represent about 20% of the failure related to age-related failure. The majority of failure has nothing to do with the equipment. The equipment is just the consequences or the symptoms of the problem. The problem has nothing to do with equipment. All the assumption that you have right foundation, which is a design. The first question when you have a failure, you should ask, are my equipment running with its design capacity? So I will bring the data sheet. I will see how this equipment is being designed for. Then I will bring the actual data, how this equipment is being operated. And if this design meet the actual, then okay, problem could be people, could be process, could be equipment. However, if you see your equipment failure related to design, go fix your design. Don't waste your time. For all new facility, a lot of time you're gonna find design issue there. Okay, let us remember we are not God. We forget things, we miss things, we overlook things. So a lot of time we do our best, but we still miss things and things may change later. So always you want to ask the first question, is my failure related to design? If it's design issue, fix it. If it's not related to people, process, equipment, and figure it out. So this is one of the first founding principle. Reliability is a holistic approach, and you need to know these 4 things have to go right before you start thinking about reliability. The second element or the second principle we agree on as a team is the process is the king, as I mentioned to you, and the decision making and work priority should be based on risk, and activity should be aligned around one goal, which is the production, and 3 conditions, which is safety and an environment and to be a cost effective. Our vision to be a one-stop shop for Aramco reliability improvement efforts. Our mission to create best reliability social network to share knowledge and best practice and educate our reliability professional to make sure that we have a right decision-making process. A third element from where we need to improve on in terms of how we run this reliability club. Reliability club could be run in different way. One way is to do it formal way. A formal way that means you have a hierarchy structure, you have rules and responsibilities. So if you are working in this team, you cannot talk to the other team unless you go through this hierarchy structure, supervisor, maybe manager, then come back again here. So for this reliability club, we choose to avoid working on this formal way of organization. We try to be informal, where everybody can talk to everybody. The dynamics is different. We don't have rules and responsibility. We have expectation. We have a self-motivated team. So, and it's volunteer basis. If you choose to be there, you're gonna be there. We don't force people. This is your choice, and if you see value, you're gonna join. And this is all about a self-motivated team, and it's all about earlier when I talk to you about the core team, you can see the team was has a diversity, but they have one thing common. All they have a passion, they have interest, they have real genuine interest in reliability, and this is what makes this team grow. We are around about 250 members right now. So this is another approach for running a community practice or reliability club, as we call it. We call it club because it's about passion, interest. Now, the other challenge when you are trying to establish a kind of a community is that if you have a culture where people, they have what they call good news culture, happy talk, there will be a challenge for people to bring problems, because if you are in a culture where people just talk about good things, how great we are, how achievement we achieve, and how good we are, there is a big chance that nobody will have a courage to come and bring problems, because there will be the black sheep. So we try to promote what we call failure is good, because failure lead to improvement. It's an indication that there's an area of improvement. So as being mentioned here, don't read success story, you will get only a message. When you talk about just how great you are and how great your company or your team, you just sending a message. You say, I am who I am. However, if you are about having a way to get an improvement, you need to read the failure story. You will get some idea how to get succeed. So in our business, especially in petrochemicals, hydrocarbons, failure is good, because a lot of time we are in very risky business. That when things go wrong in hydrocarbon business, when things go wrong very bad. That means when you have a failure, then you have a leak, then you have an explosion, people die. So that's why every time there is a failure and you're still alive and there is nothing happen major, you should thank God and you say, this is really good. This is a lesson learned. I should take it seriously to learn from it, to improve, to prevent bigger problems. So when we say failure and everything is still there, we should see it as a good indication and a good, I will not say good indication, but a good way to see there is a way to improve and there is an area of improvement. So failure is good in a sense that it makes us learn there is something went wrong and we are lucky that nothing happened major, and we should take it seriously, because if we don't take it seriously, next time there will be a bigger problem and we may have people die. So failure is good instead of saying failure is a bad thing. Another approach of having community practice is that we have a leadership type of command and control. In our case, we have what we call sponsorship and support. And we start our journey, we're getting an endorsement from the highest technical authority in Aramco, from the chief engineer at the time, Nabila Tounsi. She endorsed this reliability club and our new approach and sponsorship. Also, a lot of time we create some programs, and these programs always sponsored by a leadership, a senior management. So this is how we run our reliability club. So some of you may ask at this point, okay, this is just a nice talk, you know, yeah. So what? Show me the money, show me how it's gonna happen. So I'll share with you how we do it, technically what we do and how we do it. We create mechanism. We create some mechanism that make this reliability being seen by everybody, to the point where everybody believe that reliability is everybody's business. So we have this reliability talk. We have a regular kind of webinars. We do it internally, where we invite one of Aramco subject matter experts to share some lesson learned from some failures we see, so everybody can learn some concepts, some new technology. And also we invite some people from outside Aramco. Last time we invite Terry from Reliability Web team to talk about reliability leadership. And this is open for all Aramco employees, so anybody can join. Also have another program called Voice of Experience program, where we invite subject matter experts, usually from outside Aramco, for 1 day or 2 day workshop. This is one workshop is about reliability advocates. This was about digital reliability. And always, I will advise when you talk about reliability and make it seen by everybody, you should start making noise. And this is an advice I took it from Terry and Dave from Reliability Web. And one time when we're talking how to make reliability seen by everybody. So we start publishing all the activity in our Aramco, what we call the Arabian Sun magazine. So every time we create an event, we publish it, we tell people what we do, so people see the value, so they can join us in one of these programs. Or I have another program or another mechanism, we call it Reliability Culture Day, where we spend 1 day talking about reliability. And again, it's open for everybody. It's usually attended by 50 reliability practitioners from different backgrounds. Also, we publish this type of activity in the Arabian Sun. This was about Reliability Culture Day, sponsored by Terminal. Always, all of these events is sponsored by manager level. Okay, this is very important to have a management sponsor this event to be seen as people that reliability is taking it seriously. Also, to live our one of our values as citizenship, we offer this Reliability Culture Day campaign to one of our joint venture, which is SASF, at least twice in 2 years in a row. Another program we have, we call it Reliability Alert, where we collect some lesson learned from all around Aramco, and we try to make it in 2 pages report to learn from incident kind of report, and to tell people what is the lesson learned from the incident in a very simple way. Maybe the report like 50 pages, we try to summarize it in 2 pages and publish it. There is a future mechanism we are working on. We have a program called We Challenge and I Challenge. This is a program where we bring some young engineers with a senior engineer to work to resolve one of the current issue we face as a company. I have another program dedicated for the young engineers, what we call it A-Teach, Aramco Technical Adopted Challenge. We bring about 20 engineers to a Aramco facility where a problem being solved, and we give them the symptoms of the problem. For 2 days, they need to come up with this, understanding the root cause and find the solution. Then they present their finding to the senior management of the plant. One of the last one is the Women in Reliability. We will try to work with Reliability Web to establish and involve women in reliability in Aramco. How we do it? We apply what we call total motivation theory. I'm not sure if you are aware about it. A total motivation theory tell you people do things for 6 reasons. 6 reasons anybody do anything. First, they do it because they see fun, they play, they have a passion about it, which is what they call it play. So this is one first reason. People, they do things because they like it. If you ask second reason, they do it because they see a purpose. They see their job and fit in a bigger picture. So whatever I'm doing as a small job, it's not just a small job, it's fit in a bigger picture. Also, what I'm doing, it has a potential for me as an individual, as a company to grow. And this is what we call internal motive. This is the best team, high performer team has this, what we call internal motive. They do it for fun, they like it because they, as we see, the Reliability Club, because we have a passion. The other way, you could do anything and you ask people to do things for you if you play what you call emotional factors. So if I play what they call peer review, I'll say, how come you didn't do this? Because the other team is doing it. So I play the emotional part. So I could encourage you to do things because you feel under pressure emotionally by comparing you with other team or other individual. A lot of time people think money is a good motive for making people do things and improve. This is right if you are in a mechanical, straightforward type of job. If you have a job which required to carry a box, every time you carry a box, you get $1. The more you carry box from here to there, you get $1. So one box, $1, 100 box, $100. So this is what motivate type of kind of activity. However, in a problem solving and a critical thinking type of environment, this doesn't work. Money, it doesn't make higher perform team. Sometimes work against you. And the last and the least of these is the inertia. You ask somebody, why are you doing things? He just say, well, I'm doing it for the last week, 2 days, 10 days, last 10 years. I'm doing it, so I'm keep doing it. So this is, they call it external factors. For us, we try to work on the internal factors, and this is what we try to make it happen by ensure that our team, they have a passion and they enjoy what they are doing. We see and sense the purpose that our work fit in a bigger pictures, and we see potential to grow. And that's why we are motivating to do these activities. The end of the day, as I told you from the beginning, any company, at the end of the day, it's about making money. And having a reliability club, this is not a social club. It's a club where we learn, we connect, learn, and improve. And at the end of the day, we have to see how we connect and learn and improve and make it a reality by showing the money. So we track some of these actions by tracking some of the implementation of Reliability Club as example. In one case, one reliability alert being published, being seen by one of the facilities under construction. The story here, it was a thunderstorm hit in one of the refinery area, which has knocked down all the Bentley Nevada connected vibration monitor system. So TRIP, all the equipment has a vibration monitoring system, Bentley system, because there is a spike. If you can see, there's a spike being seen by every single equipment, and TRIP all this equipment at once. And by investigating this, we found there is a service bulletin by G to have what they call surge arrestor. It's not mandatory, but is an optional. If you connect it to your cabinet of this panel, you should not see this type of problem. So this new facility was under construction and under design, and they found this lesson learned, and they applied the knowledge learned from this incident, and they implement this small improvement to ensure that this save millions of dollars of production loss at any time this may be facility subjected to the same scenario. I will conclude this presentation by how to start a journey of reliability culture in a new facility. This is a Jazan reliability culture journey. We have a facility, one of the biggest integrated gasification combined cycle. It processes about 400,000 barrels per day to produce about 4 gigawatts. We have a latest technology, something called IMAMS, Integrated Manufacturer Operating Management System. We have around 1,600 employees from 31 nationality. We have 20 languages spoken. To the point, I can tell you a very small story here about one person I know who worked with us in Jazan. He come from a small island. I never heard this before, a small Aruba. This is in the middle of nowhere, somewhere here in the ocean, in front of Venezuela. This is 100,000 population. So we have a very diverse workforce. This is create a challenge for how we establish this culture. This IGCC, it's very simple and very unique. Take the refinery, the bottom of the residue of the CDU, which is a heavy product, and you convert it to half combustion to what we call it syngas, synthetic gas, where we use this synthetic gas on gas turbine to produce power and steam. So some of this power we sell it to the grid, some of it come back to the refinery, and we give steam, power, and water. So this is the design we have. It's very unique, one of the biggest IGCC in the world built so far. To build a culture within this mosaic of people coming from all around the world, knowing that we need to have this reliability culture, leadership support, and we have a collaborative workforce. We create this reliability culture day campaign. It was modified from 1 day to 2 hours, or sorry, 3 hours, because we have a busy workforce, where we create this workshop to answer 4 major questions, reliability questions. What is reliability? Where does reliability come from? How are reliability decisions made? And what is my role in reliability? And we conduct this workshop for all the workforce for operation, maintenance, engineering, and we complete phase 1. Also, we build a full plan, a journey within a journey, where we establish a leadership program, reliability culture day, operator-driven reliability, a defect elimination team. So we have a multiple program going on in a milestone, and the aim here is to build a reliability club, using a reliability club as a platform for sharing knowledge and exchange information and lesson learned. In conclusion, it's important to have a critical mass to get out of firefighting. A space shuttle and reliability program need a critical mass, which is people, to make things happen. So I think yesterday, if you are aware, there was an attempt for SpaceX with the NASA to send people using what they call SpaceX shuttle to bring astronauts to the international space. To push this rocket to the space, you need the critical masses. This is the fuel. The same thing we have to understand. Reliability program will not work without people, and people have to understand why they have to do. And this is the aim of the reliability culture. Thank you. And I will open the floor for any question here. So Ala, if you are with me. I just want to make sure that I want to test the sound. Anybody hear me? Just I want to make sure I'm in the right. Yes, okay, that's good. So let me ask some question. I see some. I don't know if the question here is I'll see if there is some questions. Okay. 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 So somebody he want to know what's the difference, the linkage between reliability and integrity. So let me go back to the one of these slides here. I want to make sure can be heard. Yeah. Questions. Okay. So what's the relation between reliability and integrity? Okay. What is integrity? Integrity that you have a product, you need to be contained within its boundaries. So it's a pipeline and you have a product. So anything impacting the integrity of this pipeline, like a corrosion or pinhole leaks, this is an integrity issue. It could be a structure, by the way. But at the end of the day, integrity more or less is associated with a static equipment. And now, when we talk about equipment, one of the most common wrong perception we see in reliability is that people associate reliability with rotating equipment. This is very common. Reliability is not equal to the rotating equipment. This is something I should maybe put it in this presentation. This is a common misunderstanding. Reliability is people processing all type of equipment with the assumption you have a design. So equipment here, we talk about rotating equipment, static equipment in all kind, pipeline, heat exchangers, vessels, columns, okay? Electrical type of equipment, automation, all automation control issue, it's related to, may lead to a failure, which is may related to this type of equipment. So reliability is the umbrella where an integrity is as a subcomponent with it. Because you want to maintain the integrity of this equipment by any means that you don't want to see failure. My job as a reliability practitioner is to prevent failure in any type of equipment, including static equipment, which is more or less has its program, which is an integrity program. Could be an RBI or different type of integrity programs. So this is one answer for this. Okay. So let me take the second question here. Okay. Okay. I don't know. There's a question here. It's being flagged to me. Ala, there is any question I could be missed here because I'm having many yes and okay. So there is a session recorded. Yeah, the session is recorded. This is something you should know from the beginning. Okay, so okay, I found the definition of reliability equal to prevent failure while maintenance is fixed is very misleading definition. Does somebody disagree? I like, by the way, I like the disagreement and different perception. Okay, there is nothing they say written in stone. I encourage any team to have a constructive disagreement because diversity of opinion lead to better decision. And I'm happy to see this kind of disagreement here. I'm just trying to read a comment by Usama. He say, I found the definition reliability is equal to prevent failure while maintenance fixing the failure. It's a very misleading definition. Does reliability eliminate using run to failure philosophy? Why do we need PMO? Our practice doesn't cause machine failure. Again, reliability function, if I wanna, again, I can insist reliability function as a function is preventing failure. And we do a lot of things, not just maintenance activity to prevent failure. As you can see here on this reliability kind of logo, that reliability has all components, and you should work in all these components to prevent failure. And I wish I have a different slides. I could bring it in. Maybe we'll have another session, and we'll have a follow-up session maybe later to talk about exactly the dynamics of this failure prevention, how we're going to do it. By looking at this, reliability is doing more just than maintenance, okay? Fixing the failure is the one biggest concern for any maintenance team. And that's why maintenance team, they work very hard to bring the equipment back to service. But again, we are not God. We're gonna miss the opportunity where we have to prevent failure. However, as a reliability, we have 80% of our work is proactively, and please hear me very well, proactively looking for failure by preventing this failure by using technology like condition monitoring, by doing defect elimination. So proactively looking for failure at the early stage so we can prevent the failure from to start with. However, we miss things, okay? We are not God. However, there is a 20% of our workload will be working on the area when the failure already happened. And that's time where we're gonna investigate the failure and create some root cause failure analysis to make sure that we prevent, and please, again, I'm gonna word prevent, you're gonna see it again and again when you talk about reliability. When we do root cause failure, when the failure already happened, as a reliability practitioner, when we lead the RCA, we are the aim of preventing the failure, knowing why the equipment failed, to prevent the failure for the same equipment again, or apply the knowledge developed for the same failure to another equipment didn't fail yet. Again, we work heavily to prevent the failure, but we fail many times, and the failure gonna happen, by the way. So our job is not going and try to fix the failure. This is not our job as a reliability practitioner. We are trying to understand the root cause. In some cases, maintenance team try to understand the root cause of the failure, but you know the mode of any maintenance team under the pressure of operation to bring the equipment back to service as soon as possible. This is their aim. This is what they can achieve, and this is how we value them. If they bring the equipment back to service in less time, this is what we can call them the heroes. Now, they are not accountable for preventing the failure. The preventing the failure, there is a people who should analyze data by different way of methods, including condition monitoring. Maybe now we have an artificial intelligence machine learning going on right now that will help us predict early sign of failure so we can prevent it. So that's why, again, equipment fail, and we have, as a reliability, our job, 80% of the time we should prevent the failure. Having material and doing a repair, this is a maintenance type of activities. Let me find another question. If I can find, how you establish changeover schedule. Okay, we established switchover schedule. We done it two ways. By establishing what we call a log header reports in the beginning. We was baby feeding the operation in a monthly basis. We say, guys, this is your plan for the next month per unit. And by the end of the month, we do a compliance report, and we say how you are good following the schedule. Later, when they are already, they have the buy-in. We don't have to convince them anymore. We get them the annual schedule, and they have what they call it a focal point for each unit. And this focal point, he issued a weekly, monthly plan for his team. And there is another approach. One of our facility tried this. is use it as a PM, like as any PM. You put it in SAP or any maintenance management system or Maximo, and you create as a PM and auto trigger in the system. This is how it could happen. How was the recommended interval of switchover of rotating equipment? There is a formula if you are know John RCM 2 John Moberly book. There is a section where they talk about a failure finding task, because changeover consider a failure finding task, and it tell you how often you should do a changeover, how many times. Usually from 3 to 4 times per year, on average. And usually you want to maintain the lead bump has a higher running hour comparing to the standby bump to ensure when one of the lead bump fail, the standby bump will survive the time the lead bump go for repair, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 3 months, depends. So usually in our case, we go 9-4-9-4. We give the highest running hours for the lead bumps, less running hours for the standby bump or equipment, whatever. And by the way, a changeover could be for rotating equipment, for a static equipment, by the way. Changeover is not just only for rotating equipment. Okay, what we don't structure like. Okay, somebody is questioning why we don't have structure like we did at Shell. By the way, I work at Shell and I have experience. Yanni, he's one of my colleagues. He already left, I think. Please explain the 1G and 3C. As I told you from the beginning, we are here to protect the king, which is the process. And the process represents the one goal we are after is the production. So in any operating plant, the number one thing you should maintain and make it healthy, and this is the only one goal you have, is to have a healthy process that make money. However, you need to achieve this one goal with the 3 conditions. The 3 condition is you should not kill people. Nobody gonna say, hey, reduce 400,000 barrels, but no problem. You can kill 1 guy or 2 guys, no problem. There is nobody gonna say that. So you're gonna make people safe. A second thing that you have to maintain the reliable plant in a way that is environmentally friendly, that you cannot emit toxic material like flaring as maybe a refinery. The third condition that you want to do it in a cost-effective manner. So people will say, hey, please produce 400,000 barrels per day. This is your goal, and this is one goal you have. However, you're going to do it at certain cost. They will not have an open check for you to do it. You have a limited budget. You should do it in a cost-effective manner. I'm not sure how far we can go. I could continue. Constant review for learning from incident. You have the culture depend on mindset, learn, belief, attitude. Hope to hear you. How you that in short time. There is nothing called short time. Reliability culture is not a one-time event. Huh? You didn't create an event, you call it reliability culture day, and you should go home and sleep and say, okay, I done my part. I teach operator, engineers, maintenance people, what is reliability and how reliability decision make, and all these 4 principles or questions, and I done my job. As a reliability engineer or asset management kind of engineer, you are in continuous battle and education to educate your workforce about reliability. And first, you have to be visible, by the way. Reliability engineer usually a person who can be seen by everybody. It's not reliability culture cannot be built while you're staying in your office. that you have to go to the field, you have to talk to the operator, you have to take a walk with the operator in their operator rounds, go and check the maintenance team when they do the repair, ask questions. So you have to build a relation, you have to connect first and learn from these guys, because I believe the most knowledgeable people in any plant are the operator first, and second, the maintainer. And the reason why we see operators the most important as a asset for the company, because they are most knowledgeable and they can make it or break it. You know, say if you have a limited budget today to hire a best operator or best maintainer, what do you think? You should hire best maintainer or best operator? You have one choice. You could hire the best maintainer or best operator. Who you could hire? If wisely you choose the best operator. You know why? Because a worst operator with the best maintainer, a worst operator will break his equipment faster than the best maintainer can keep up. He will keep breaking his equipment faster. That's why you should always work heavily when you want to improve reliability. I will recommend to work first with operation team. Make your first improvement you want to achieve with the operation team, because this is the most important and they are the foundation. It takes time, as I said, it's not something you're going to have it in overnight. It may take 1 to 3 years before you see improvement. Okay. I think anybody else has any question? I see a lot of questions, to be honest, but let me take this one. Some people already left. And the example you have used in the webinar from maintenance point of view, the switchover cannot be bad. Even the mechanical seal cannot be damaged due to the running dry, because we have re-looped in the machines that needed. Okay. So I have another example from the switchover. If you are a rotating equipment or electrical engineer or maintenance engineer, they will always challenge the switchover in terms of having an equipment. We know for a fact that equipment keep running in a steady state mode, live longer than the equipment go up and down. This is a reality. This is a fact. A good example, your lamp at home. If you leave your lamp open, this lamp, light lamp, will be live for say 2 years. If you can on off, you may see 6 months. A good example from electrical point of view, any electrical motor, especially big motor, every time you start up this motor, you're gonna see a rush of electricity that jump to 100, maybe 20%. And I see maybe some of electrical engineers here, they know better than me, may go higher than 100% of the highest amp. And this rush of electricity killing your winding and deteriorating your winding faster. So the motor who's on off will live shorter than the motor was running in a steady state mode. So that's a reason. Some people don't like switchover, by the way, from maintenance point of view or from operation point of view. That's why I say switchover is a purely a reliability concept, because we believe the process is the king. Because some people think we are here to maintain an equipment. To maintain an equipment, killing an equipment faster and accumulating more cost in terms of maintenance cost, it will be pennies comparing to one incident in 10 years that one of these standby equipment will not kick in when you need it, and you have a production loss which cost you millions of dollars. So that's why we do switch over. I have a guy here thinking that reliability is impacting by rush to return back and everything is normal. Yeah. As I told you, one biggest reason for unreliability is the human error, and one of the reason of human error, people mistakes. And one of the reason of people doing mistakes is that when they are under pressure in an emergency, they may take shortcuts to satisfy the situation. Then we have a mistakes and that lead to a failure. Okay, I think I will ask, this is maybe the last question I will answer. What is the first step to start the reliability journey, and how to motivate reactive people to change into reliability work? This is really a good example, a really good question, and I would like to ask, thank Muhammad. He already left, I think. Maybe he's still there. Anyway, yeah. What's the first step to create reliability journey, and how we motivate people to go away from reactive to be proactive? So if you go back to this reliability logo, as I told you, reliability requires leadership support. Definitely, without leadership support, this is where you need to start. You have to convince leadership on what you are doing. However, I will suggest, before you go to ask leadership support, you do something in a low profile. So you create a workshop, an awareness workshop about reliability for everybody within your area, which is you are working with. Maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it takes. And you educate them about reliability principles and what is reliability and how reliability decision make, and how the reliability improvement work, and what's the importance of reliability culture, and what's the relation between reliability and safety. Once you create this awareness session, maybe 2 or 3, and I will again suggest to start with operation, because this is the most important. You start with operation, with maintenance engineering, but start with operation first. Create 1 or 2 or 3 workshops. Get a feedback from this workshop. Why we have problem with reliability? A we have failures? Listen to the people, understanding on what they think our issues as a team or as a company when it comes to reliability. Take these notes, write it down, and come and ask for a meeting with your leadership team and say, this is my take of building reliability culture by creating these awareness sessions. Create a group of people, call them reliability community practice, reliability club, whatever the name, it doesn't matter, just a group of people who are advocates and they see the value that reliability is important, and ask for their support. And the value of going at this point is that when you go and talk in front of management about what you're gonna do as an individual plus a team you are establishing with you, you're gonna talk about what is being done, not as what we're gonna do. And then we establish what we call credibility. It's not something just a guy, he came and tell us a nice story about what's gonna happen, but we see this happen before and never happened. So they don't trust this type of presentation, I will say. So again, do something at your level, do whatever you can do, bring some results, even small, create some momentum, maybe just get 4 people. So if you can see in our case, with this reliability club, I'm not sure, we start with just, I don't know, yeah, we start with 5 people here. 5 people 5 years ago. Okay, then we grow up on a core team, which is almost 20 plus and growing, and we have about 250 plus members. So you start small, you grow, you bring something to the table, and this is what I done personally when we came to to get an endorsement for the chief engineer. We came and we already almost a year and a half we are working on a low profile. When we came, we came and we say, oh, this is what we've done so far, and this is what we need leadership support to make an endorsement for Inmarsat. So at this point, it's not a matter of somebody just talking about theoretical concept. It's about real things happen on the ground. This is it, and I think I will end this session at this point. Ala, if you need to add something, I'll try to hear from you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you. A big thanks to you, Engineer Faruq, for the great presentation. Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining us today. To everyone listening, don't forget to have a look on our upcoming online training programs. Also join us on Telegram and YouTube. And for more information about RES Global, please visit our website, www.resglobal.org. Thank you again for joining us today. Have a nice time and goodbye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam.